What's up? And we're back. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Hope everybody is well. I hope everybody had a good holiday. I don't really give a good goddamn what you celebrate and who you celebrate with. I just hope it was good. If that makes sense to you. What's up, Buck City Films? Doing something a little bit different today on the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. It is one of our beloved side trips episode where we get into things a little bit sort of out of our usual beaten path, so to speak. And today we're certainly doing that. But we're going to be talking about a lot of Americana today. So just like we've discussed many times on the show that American hardcore is a form of folk music, we're going to kind of be heading down that road. So good to see everybody. Looking forward to getting to there's a lot of music venues today. Red, Gold, Green Dub, good to see you. What's up, Ryan? Spiky, how you doing, man? Indiana. Right on. That's right. JGB Pirates Ball 73 Hells Angels Party. Were you there? I think it was a boat ride around Manhattan, wasn't it? So, yeah. And I want to say welcome to people that might be new watching the show from the Jerry Garcia Grateful Dead world that might be tuning in. This is a interactive show. There is a chat room on the right. All input and comments are welcome. We don't do politics on the show. We don't get into vax stuff. And we really don't care about who you're fucking. So other than that, it's wide open. So speaking of who you fucking, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Messina.
What's up? Oh, all I could hear is Creedence in my head going, there's a chat room on the right.
Right. There's a chat room on the right. Yeah.
What's up and happy Thanksgiving and all that.
Happy Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? I'm just, just happy for you getting together with your family, people.
Amen.
Amen. Can I get a witness?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Speaking of which, you sent me a couple pictures. Oh, wait.
I did.
Wait. Speaking of which.
Uh-oh.
In the sort of. Okay. You know what? For old time's sake, photo of the day. Wrong answers only, please. Here you go. Boom.
Nice.
Speaking of hallelujah, wrong answers only, please. And go. Is it? Welcome. Hey, John Angus. Let me guess. You are related to Harry Angus, our guest today. Can we expect many Anguses coming by? So, hello, John Angus. And don't worry, bro. We're gonna go deep. Listen, John. Let me sort this John Angus out right away. There's a format here, brother. We have to adhere to the format. Everything has its place. If anything falls out of place, chaos erupts. So, that said, is it Kirk Hammett? Good one. Is it Arlo Guthrie? I don't want a
pickle.
I just want to ride on my motorcycle. Is it Nested? Ray Hogan? Is it Nested? Would you mean Newstead? Is it Tiny Tim? Tiptoe through the tulips. Tiny Tim was an interesting character.
Yeah,
Tiny Tim used to live in my neighborhood. I used to see him, and he was like wacko. Is it Tom Araya? Kind of looks like Tom Araya, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit shorter hair. Yeah.
Is it Brad Pitt?
Huh.
Is it Weird Al?
No.
Come on, John Angus. Where are you in all this? When are you going to weigh in, John Angus? That said, okay. Is it Steve Vai? No. Is it Steve when he had hair? Is it Abe? Is it Leslie West? How dare you? Leslie West was ripping, man. All right.
He was.
We saw who that was. Let's right answer. Listen, I bet you. Let me see if anybody even gets this, right? Okay.
We might be throwing a good curveball today. That's all right.
It's a little out of the wheelhouse for some people here. Is it Chris Cornell? No. All right. Right answers only, please. Okay. Here you go. Is it? Right answers only, please.
The guitar itself is a good giveaway if you've it's pretty,
Really?
Yeah, that guitar has been in many a video of theirs, and
I tell you this, people. This dude has got a set of pipes, man.
Oh,
This guy is incredible. Great singer. What's up, John in London? Welcome, welcome. Is it? Come on, where is everybody?
Well, this whole side trip, I think we're throwing lots of curveballs at people today, which is good. We're here to open your minds.
Is it Quib Psych?
Yeah. It is Quib Psych.
Is it Quib Psych? All right. Friggin', is it Chris DeGarmo?
I wish Chris DeGarmo was still in the building, but he left many years ago.
He played guitar?
He was the he was the main songwriter and guitarist in the band, and he was the first one to leave.
What? But okay.
But yes, let's just cut right to it.
Wait, hold on, wait. Let me get up this next picture.
Okay.
This might help.
Yes. What the heck does that sound?
Is it Motorhead? Is it Ted Nugent? Good. Hey, John Angus. We're rooting for you, brother.
He's getting in the game.
Okay. All right. Tell us who this is.
Well, this is Queensryche. Yes, we it's we always dabble in a little metal on the show, and this is Queensryche. They played the Paramount in Huntington a few days back and just crushed it. And that right there is Todd Latore, who is been in the band now for almost 15 years, and he replaced Jeff Tate when he left. And just a ridiculous, powerful voice he has, formerly in Crimson Glory. And the guitar player, Michael Wilton, original member, who you also saw, he was alongside Chris DeGarmo, who quit early on and then became a pilot. This band has gone through lineup changes over the years, but they never stopped playing. And there's Mike Stone as well. Just a tremendous band, and really one of the true great metal bands, like from to come out of the 80s, and along with Priest and Maiden.
Did they do Silent Lucidity?
Oh yeah, like they had the big epic Operation
What was that other
Mindcrime.
song they did? Jet City Woman? Was that
Jet City Woman? Yep, that was them.
Jet City Woman.
They really, really, like, it's funny because just really intricate players, like in that almost like bordering on the progressive, that kind of stuff.
All right. Calm down, bro. Calm down with the jockeying of Queensryche.
I'm just telling you, man.
You know who loves Queensryche?
Who loves Queensryche?
My wife.
See, I knew I liked that girl. And
she loves Queensryche.
And she puts up with you. So
believe me, she puts up with me, man.
Yeah.
Getting involved with me is like jumping on a moving train.
That's right.
It was like, I give her credit.
That's right. And I can attest to that.
That's right.
I work for the railroad.
Jeff Tate's touring, doing Queensryche songs too.
He does tour, and I've heard good things about his recent tours. He, went up and down over the years. I mean, to sing like that, especially at his age, it's no easy task, Yeah,
go ask Robert Plant, right?
And Latore's a little bit younger, so he's still got a little more power.
Go ask David Coverdale how that turned out for him.
He just retired. Did you see that last week?
I like David Coverdale.
A class act, and I'm a huge fan of those early '70s Whitesnakes records. I mean, you know,
we got to get David Coverdale on the show.
Or Glenn Hughes, another one who sang with him.
Hey, are you still playing this show on Friday?
You're goddamn right I am. You're goddamn right I am. Yes, I am. This Friday night, the Bridge and Tunnel Brewery in Ridgewood, Serial Poets with Dirtbag Ivy, Ill Raised, and Butt Pyrite.
Is Dirtbag Ivy, is that like a person? Is that like a girl? Like her name's Ivy? And
I think it's a band. I think
it's like band. It's like Jethro Tull's not a dude, but Dirtbag Ivy's not like.
I'm not sure. I heard good things about him. Right. Ill Raised, of course, have played our Bowery shows before.
Sure.
And Butt Pyrite, I've seen a number of times at the Shillelagh Tavern, and they were kind enough to invite us on, so we're really psyched about this. And of course, Bridge and Tunnel Brewery is run by some of our friends in Dead Blow Hammer, so it's going to be a really fun night.
Right on.
And it's going to be a good warm-up because we have a show the following week at the Mighty Slamboree. So
the Holiday Slamboree,
which is going to be amazing.
Yep.
And
did you see this, everybody? They just announced this. I am moderating a release event at Generation Records with Harley Flanagan for Harley Flanagan Wired for Chaos, Saturday, December 13th at Generation Records. It's the release of his Blu-ray.
That will be awesome, and I will definitely be there for that.
Be there or be hilaire.
I've seen the movie twice, and definitely want to check it out.
Right on. All right, bro. Thanks.
Thank you.
Today's your second Thanksgiving, right?
Yes, it is. I'm upstairs at my sister's. I'm about to go dive into another day of food and drink. So
you freaking guineas with the second Thanksgiving.
That's right. It's like second breakfast, 11sies, you know.
It's our second Thanksgiving. Woo!
We got a lot to be thankful for.
Good for you. I'm happy. All right. I'll talk to you soon. There you have it. The hardcore shutterbug, Stephen Messina. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by the Texas Silver Rush DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, Women of the Pit, She Devil's Coven, Minty Fresh Presents. We got a new sponsor. We'll talk about them later. And 126 Hardcore Clothing, our streetwear brand for restless individuals who don't compromise. They're about being positive, spontaneous, and true to yourself. For years, they experimented with several printing methods and materials and collaborated with a large number of designers and illustrators, always giving room for fresh perspectives while retaining the hardcore attitude. Get in touch with them. Ramp up your game at www.126clothing.com. That's right. New sponsor, Minty Fresh Presents. Ooh. Hey, by the way, if you noticed, I have a imperfection, and I know you're so used to seeing me just look perfect. There is an imperfection. I just want to say everybody should get out there and get to the dermatologist and get their skin checked. They found like a precancerous thing and they zapped it off my mug, so that's why I'm. But I'm just absolutely perfect the way I am. But I'm imploring you, if you're thinking about it, everybody should do it if you're out in the sun. I'm never out in the sun, ever. I've been out in the sun like 3 times in my whole life. And so there you go. That said, let's clear the deck and what's going on here? Boy. All right. Let me clear the deck and let's bring our guest on. Here we go. Here we go. Yo. Today's guest is an author hailing from the Garden State of New Jersey. At age 17 in 1972, he saw Jerry Garcia play with the Grateful Dead at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City, New Jersey. From that point forward, he became passionate about the music of Garcia in all his musical endeavors. Many years and many shows later, he has compiled the Encyclopedia of Jerry Garcia music venues, which has just been released. Please welcome, coming at us from the Sunshine State of Florida, Mr. Harry G. Angus. Hey, man.
Hey, Drew, how you doing?
I'm good, Harry. How are you, buddy?
So far, so good.
Yeah. How's Florida treating you?
Wonderful, man. Perfect weather.
And you're down on Marco Island, right?
I am, yes.
A beautiful place, Marco Island.
Pretty close to the Everglades, actually.
Yeah. But we're going to we're going to go on the journey and we'll eventually we'll make our way to Marco Island. You know? Yeah. Are you out in the sun a lot?
I try not to.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially I'm losing some hair, so the top of my head is a little bald at this point.
I hear you. So let's bounce the ball back and forth a little bit. I'm really excited that you're on. You know what I wanted to tell you? You know who I got to tell you. I know we spoke yesterday. I got to show you something. Hold on. Let me find it. We'll kind of kick off with this. I want to show you something. Hold on. Here we go. So I know we talked yesterday, and I was like, I told you I was invited to this thing, and I wasn't going. I ended up going, and I ended up seeing Jorma Kaukonen for his play at Carnegie Hall for his 85th birthday last night.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was interesting. You know, it was okay. I was, 85, man. You know,
that's up there, man.
Yeah, it is, and it was okay. I didn't think it was great. I thought, Jack Cassidy was a no-show.
Oh,
which was kind of a drag because.
Wow, was he supposed to be there?
Yeah, he had apparently had a heart, like an emergency heart issue.
Oh,
and so I tell you, I feel like the wind got taken out of the sails before the show really started. It was like no bass player.
Right.
He was a lot of the songs that they play, he was a big part of. So it sort of started the night out on a weird note. And to me, the whole thing was really blatantly, painfully unrehearsed. So it was just really there. It was, and I thought, it's Carnegie Hall. It's like kind of like you could have rehearsed a little bit.
You could have got another bass player.
And don't get me wrong, I was sitting in the front row. This is front. I was in the first row.
Wow.
So yeah. So that was. I don't know. I might not ever see Jorma Kaukonen again. I mean, I've seen him 100 times through the years. Did you see Hot Tuna back in the day?
I saw Hot Tuna once that I can recall on the Asbury Park. I think it was in Convention Hall.
Yeah,
and he played for 8 hours. It was Hot Tuna. When we walked out of that place, the sun was coming up.
I think Tuna played there like 74 and 77.
Okay, it must have been the 74 show.
Yeah. So cool. Let's chop it up a little bit. And let's get down to it. How did you come up? Did you grow up in a musical household? How did music come into your life?
I grew up on the Jersey Shore. My parents were not musicians, but they had a stereo, of course, and they played Sinatra, Perry Como, Al Martino, that kind of stuff. And my mom loved polka music. So that's what I heard growing up. And then as time went on, my brother, John, who you just met.
The infamous.
He became a drummer. He started in the drum and bugle corps, but now he's a rock and roll drummer.
He still plays drums?
He still does, yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
And let's see, my earliest influences as far as music goes were the Beatles.
Sure.
I can remember as a kid, my first record album was the second album. In fact, I think I still have it down here in Florida, somewhere down here.
Right.
And, time went by, and the first band I saw was the Jackson 5 on the Steel Pier in Atlantic City.
Wow.
So that was the start of my concert experience.
Where in the Jersey Shore did you grow up? What town?
in Bricktown in Ocean County. Right
Bricktown.
Right near Bay Head, Point Pleasant, Seaside
Yeah, yeah.
Heights, right there.
Yeah, Scott Earth, Jersey, all of Jersey represent, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And I never played an instrument.
So was that like, what was like when music came to the area? What was the go-to? Atlantic City or Asbury Park?
Yeah, there was a little place there called the Sunshine Inn, and it was basically a little warehouse, and they opened up the garage door, and everybody went in that way.
Wow.
No box office, no Ticketron, no nothing back then. And I saw a couple of shows there. One was Johnny Winter on Easter, on the night of Easter.
That's what I'm talking about.
And he played basically in the dark because he was an albino.
Yeah.
We couldn't have any real light on him. And then another show I saw at the Sunshine Inn was Crazy Horse without Neil Young, unfortunately. But I was young and I didn't know any better. But the opening act was I can't remember the name of the band, but it was Bruce Springsteen's band at the time.
Oh yeah, what was it? Was it?
I can't recall.
Hold on, it's as easy as what was Bruce Springsteen's first band? It's that easy on this show.
Somebody will answer for you.
Yeah. It'll come up. Something. It's at the tip of my tongue. But when was Asbury Park? I mean, I'm a little younger than you, not by that much, but I'm a little younger. But I sort of remember when I went to Asbury Park later on, it was sort of really in decline. In those early years, was it already sort of?
It was already in decline. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually remember seeing also in Asbury Park Convention Hall around the same time Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Oh wow, hell yeah!
And that stood out for me. That was amazing.
Was it Steel Mill or
that's it?
The Castles.
Steel
Mill.
Yeah,
Steel Mill.
Yep. Somebody answered it.
Yeah. I guess the Castles was another one. That Castiles? Is that right?
Castiles, maybe.
Castiles.
Yeah.
I mean, I know. The Stone Pony. That's still there.
That wasn't there back then.
No,
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, and then we know Asbury Park because they used to have a place called what was it? Fast Lane, which was a bowling alley. Fast Lane, which is where a lot of like later on that stuff came through.
I'll tell you, one of those nights that Garcia played in Asbury Park Convention Hall after the show. He was found wandering around on the boardwalk. It was pretty late at that point. And some kids recognized him and said, "Hey, Jerry, what's going on?" And Jerry goes, "Is that an arcade over there?" And they go, "Yeah, we play in there all the time." He goes, "Come on, let's go play some pinball."
That's awesome.
And these two kids, he didn't have any money, so they had to put their quarters in the machine, and they played pinball with Jerry.
Well, that's kind of like this. That's kind of jumping to Jerry Garcia here. Just reading about his persona, his legacy. He's the kind of guy that they say, like, in the glove compartment of his car was like stuffed with like uncashed royalty checks and stuff. Like
under the seat of his car. Yeah. Yeah.
The guy just didn't. It's like money wasn't on his radar screen.
Yeah, it wasn't the reason he played music. That's for sure.
It sure wasn't. So go on and what happens from there?
Well, I have to. I see my brother made a comment about Grand Funk Railroad at the Ocean Ice Palace in Bricktown.
Wow!
And I was there. I remember that. And there was a band that also played with Grand Funk, the opening act, and David Grisman was in the band.
Was that
Earth something?
Yes. I
can't remember the name.
I got to look. Yeah, David Grisman's. Let me look that up.
It's not coming to me.
If any Earth Railroad something. What the fuck? It's at the tip of my tongue. Hold on. Where is he? Earth. Anybody? What was
Earth
David?
Opera. Somebody answered it. Earth Opera. That was the name.
Not Rare Earth. No. Earth Opera. That was it.
Grisman wasn't in Rare Earth. No.
Poco. You know, it's interesting because a lot of these bands have been a little bit lost in the swirling sands of time. But in the early to mid 70s, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Grand Funk, Jethro Tull, these Mountain, these bands were huge.
Yep, it's true.
They were huge. Emerson, Lake and Palmer was like had a moment. Like all these bands I just mentioned had like a moment, a year, 3 years where they were the biggest thing.
Carcass. That was the album.
Tarkus, yeah. Yeah. Pictures at an exhibition.
Right. That's right.
So moving along. At what point does sort of Jerry Garcia come into your orbit? I assume it was with the Grateful Dead.
Oh, I was still in high school, and my friends were starting to listen to it. We were listening to all kinds of music, but I think probably American Beauty and Working Man's Dead is really where I caught on to the situation. And then my sister took me and my girlfriend to Roosevelt Stadium to see that show. And that pretty much sealed it for me. I was like, I've seen a whole bunch of other bands at that point already. Capitol Theater, Asbury Park, the one in Passaic I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure.
And some other places that don't really come to mind right now. But yeah, that's where it all started for me, was at Roosevelt Stadium. And then I went to a couple shows at Capitol Theater. At one point, a high school buddy of mine, we jumped on a plane. My parents never knew that I even left home. We went to Newark and got on a plane and flew to Boston to see the Dead. This was in '76, like their comeback tour.
When they were playing theaters, would they play the Orpheum?
They played the Orpheum. Yeah. I think it was the Orpheum. I'm pretty sure.
Could have been Boston Music Hall.
It might have been the Boston Music Hall, but I think they only played that earlier. But I could be wrong.
You mentioned Roosevelt Stadium, and Roosevelt Stadium, for those who may not know, Roosevelt Stadium. Here's an old shot of it. Was a dilapidated, like, what was it, like a minor league ballpark? It was I think by the time they were doing concerts in there, it was pretty worn down. But it was in Jersey City, and they had some really incredible shows right across the river from where I live here, in Roosevelt Stadium. And this show that you saw, July 18th, 1972, pretty epic for a first show. The Dead played 3 sets, 29 songs.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked it up in my trusty Dead base, and wow, what a show, man! Holy shit! Yeah. I mean, 3 full sets. Yeah. What was that? So was it like right away you just got kind of pulled in the Grateful Dead undertow?
I was already pulled in before I actually went to Roosevelt Stadium, so that was just a taste of it, a really good dose of it, basically.
Yeah. Josh asks, how long was the break between sets at a show like that?
That could vary, but it was always a little bit too long.
Yeah.
I mean, Deadheads, they are the most patient people you'd ever come across, because their 15 minutes could go by between one song and another. They'd smoke cigarette, have a little chat with each other. What do you want to play now? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I
remember seeing the Dead. The first Dead show I saw was Giant Stadium 1978. That was my first show. And one thing I do remember is the exorbitant amount of time they spent in between songs tuning up. I mean, it was sort of a different world back then. I mean, tuning up, they like the amount of time they took in between songs tuning up was excruciating.
Yeah, yeah. It would discourage a lot of people.
I mean, nowadays it's taken for granted. People have electronic tuners and everything.
Right.
You know, there were no electronic tuners, so it's like doing, 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 doing. It was like,
You know, the '78 show that you're talking about at Giant Stadium, that was right before their next shows after that.
Egypt.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was 15 and we went. It was the Grateful Dead, the New Riders of the Purple Sage, and Willie Nelson. No, and Willie Nelson.
And Waylon Jennings too, right?
Waylon Jennings was a no-show, so it was just
Right.
Willie. It was just Willie Nelson.
Right.
But that was my first show, and interestingly enough, my last Grateful Dead show, 140 shows later, was at Giant Stadium in 1995.
Wow.
And make no mistake about it, it was a rough show, man. Garcia wasn't bad. It was it was sad, man.
Yeah.
But we don't need to go there now.
My book does not go into that at all.
So your book doesn't sort of get into what was going on with the members. You're basically playing it. These are the venues, just kind of like statistics.
It's a reference book for sure.
Right.
Yep, you'll find it in libraries, no doubt about it.
Right on. Kill for Peace 69 says, saw the Dead play at Roosevelt Stadium in 73 and 74. I think one of those shows was with the Allman Brothers Band. You know? 74? No, 73.
I don't think so. I think that was only Watkins Glen and RFK they did.
Oh, RFK. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So, do you remember, like, for you after kind of like Roosevelt Stadium, you mentioned Boston. Any other early shows that you saw that were inspiring as far as like the Dead or Garcia or in that world?
There's one that always comes to mind. My first side band show, first Garcia side band. It was called Merle Saunders and Friends. It was July 2nd of 74. I'm sorry, 72. At the Bottom Line.
Oh wow! That not to be confused with Legion of Mary, correct?
That's a different band altogether. Ron Tutt. Whenever Ron Tutt was in the band, you know who Ron Tutt was. He was the drummer.
Ron Tutt played drums with Elvis Presley.
Right. Well, he also played with Jerry when he wasn't playing with Elvis. He actually played with both of them at the same time.
That's right.
It didn't last very long, Legion of Mary, but you know, it's a well-known thing.
Yeah. Imagine that. Ron Tutt played with Elvis Presley and Jerry Garcia.
And he also played with Neil Diamond.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Is anybody out there? Does anybody out there know what song that both Jerry Garcia and Elvis Presley had in their repertoire when Ron Tutt was playing drums? No one's going to get that.
I know.
We'll see. Is that right? You saw Pink Floyd at Roosevelt Stadium, 75. That would be the Animals tour.
I wish I saw that.
Yeah. So, right on.
You want me to tell you who it is? What song it is?
Please.
Mystery Train.
That's right, brother. That's right. He does that great like vamp on this. Yeah. It was great. Oh, Wish You Were Here tour. Okay. So take us along the timeline. So at some point, didn't you pack up and move west?
I did. That was in 76.
Mm-hmm.
I just packed up my car and I drove out there by myself. I think I was 21 at the time.
Wow.
And I immediately started chasing after Garcia in the little bars around the Bay Area.
Sure.
Little did I know at that time that he only really played in the Keystones, the two Keystones, and then the Stone came later. Right. But I would go to all these other places where Merle was playing and thinking that Merle's playing, Jerry's going to be there, but it never turned out that way. Because Merle was prolific in the Bay Area. He played all over the place.
Is that right?
Yeah, he played in hotels in the city. You know, like a little jazz trio.
He I guess a lot of what was for an East Coast person, when I went out west and I was sort of taken aback to see Garcia playing places like the Keystone and the Stone. They were clubs, basically.
It blows you away. It totally was like, man, I'm going to live in this place. I'm going to come to every show. And I tried, but you had a job. So
did you move to the Bay Area, San Francisco?
I did, yeah. I moved to Santa Clara is where I moved. So I was pretty close to the Keystone Palo Alto. I went to a lot of shows there.
And that was 76?
That was in 76, 77. Actually, my first show at the Keystone Palo Alto, at that time it was called Sophie's.
Right, that's right.
And I was in there. I went all by myself because I didn't know anybody in California. So I went by myself. And at the end of the show, Jerry had to walk through the crowd, walk down the steps on the front of the stage. It's that tiny of a little place. And he walked through the crowd with the Travis beam on.
Wow.
And he walked right into me with the Travis beam. I mean, chest to chest. And all I could come out and say was, "Nice show, Jerry." and he said thanks. And that was the extent of my talking with Garcia.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Didn't you end up in Humboldt County at some point?
I did. I moved up there where my brother lived for some years before I got there. And I found out that Laird Grant, I don't know if you know the name, but Laird Grant.
Laird Grant was the Grateful Dead's kind of like their first go-to roadie type tour manager type guy.
They went to grammar school together.
Oh, that's right.
And Laird. Well, anyway, Laird, he ended up in Laytonville, which is actually Mendocino, about 45 minutes south of Garberville. And Jerry bought him a piece of property there.
Oh, wow. And
built a studio on the property. And after that, Jerry never even went to the property.
you hear about that a lot from him.
Yeah, he was a real giver,
Our good buddy and supporter Chris Contos, drummer extraordinaire, says, "My dad produced Link Ray and Garcia played on that record. My brother played drums with Merle Saunders." Yeah. Chris Contos, Bay Area legend. So yeah, we just saw him when we were just out there. When you went up to what was your inspiration for heading up to Humboldt? I know, didn't you end up on radio up there?
I did. I took up it was a volunteer job. I did it for about 13 years. I had my own Grateful Dead hour and a half every Tuesday, and that was a lot of fun.
Well, that was KMUD.
KMUD in Garberville, yeah. And by then the station had moved to Redway.
Oh, it was in Garberville.
It was, yeah.
Garberville was gangster. I've been there, man.
Yeah, it's changed a lot since then.
Has it? I mean,
yeah.
It was when I was up there. It was there was a whole black market going on. Let's say, and it was pretty. It was pretty heavy.
Well, that market has taken a complete nosedive. A lot of those people have lost everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's when you were on KMU. You mentioned was Dan Healy involved in that radio station?
He actually started it. I think it had a different name, not KMUD back then, but it changed names at some point. But I had Healy in the station on my show a couple of times, face to face with him. Great guy.
Well, yeah. For those that may not know, Dan Healy was did front of house sound for the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
I mean, front of house, not monitors.
Yeah.
Dude was front of house for many, many, many years before, depending on whose story you listen to, he sort of went off the rails a little bit. He sort of
started messing with Weir's vocals, and that was pretty much started the end of it.
I was there for some of that. It was not cool. I didn't think it was cool at all. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think it was yeah. So John, what about the famous community radio show KMUD?
Well, yeah, that was my show. It was called Club Bistro.
Club Bistro.
And I inherited it from another friend from Bricktown who
Mm-hmm.
still lives there. I think he did it for about 10 years before I came along. And he tired of it, so I was like, hey, I'll do it.
Was it a straight Grateful Dead show? Were you playing like just going? Were you playing off like your personal collection cassettes or like what?
Right. Not cassettes. They were CDs.
Right.
And the first half hour was just basically anything I wanted to play. And then the last hour was a Dead show. I'd pick out the best parts of it, one show, and do that. So
a lot of I assume that you connected with a lot of big how do I say like that area is very vibrant in Grateful Dead culture.
absolutely.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I actually had a hard drive with every Dead show on it.
wow.
Not Garcia shows, but all the Dead shows.
Mm-hmm.
And we used that as a tool for donations.
Mm.
We'd have an auction online, and those things would sell like hotcakes. So, but now that was before archive and all of that other stuff that you can get anything you want online.
Anything. It's
Yeah.
all it's all online now,
Yeah.
which is good. And is that right? Dan Haley was from Wayot, California. Am I pronouncing that right?
I don't know where he was from, but I know he started the
Yeah.
radio station up there. And actually, his father died. He had his own plane, and he crashed
Wow.
on a bluff just outside of Garberville.
Wow.
He died. Yeah.
Chris Contos asks, Harry, did you have any interactions with Gene Clark?
No.
No. Dan Healy, I wouldn't call him one of the unsung heroes of the Grateful Dead, but Dan Healy was a big player in that game, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Wall of Sound and front of house for all those years.
He built their first big sound system.
Yeah. Way
back, 66. Yeah.
Is Dan Healy still around?
He's still around. I think he might live in Petaluma, but I'm not certain about that.
Right. So at what point, so you're living the Humboldt lifestyle. At some point you moved to Mendocino?
Right. Then I moved a little south, about 45 minutes south, and I bought a house down there. And I kept doing the show, the KMUD show. And all while this is all going on, I had this this blog that I created called Jerry's Broken Down Palaces.
Right.
And that's kind of how this whole book thing started.
Tell us about it.
I had about 400 venues that I was messing around with in there, just playing around, not being serious with it. And I loosely put it together, and I had nowhere to go but just to hang around, so I was just messing around. So next thing I knew, I had over 2 million hits. So I decided I'd create a big, beautiful book. Why not, right?
Well, let me ask you, I mean, because we're taking a big, sort of a big jump. The internet comes into play early on. Were you sort of in on that, the early, I remember, early chat rooms. I know, what's his name? Robert Hunter had a blog early on. And
Central, for sure.
Yeah.
I was all over that.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you, I couldn't have created this book without the internet.
Right.
Because there's just so many pieces and chapters and venues, and I could never come up with it all in my lifetime if I went to one library.
Yeah.
You know, I'd have to go to like many, many libraries to get the information I was looking for.
So you start Jerry's Broke Down Palaces blog. It gets almost 2 million hits. At what point did you become inspired to let me commit this? Let me try to make a book out of this thing.
Well, as we all know, deadheads or not, Jerry is irresistible, and even now he's like that. He's 30 years after he died.
Mm-hmm.
And he was my inspiration for the book, obviously, and combining enchanting eyewitness accounts into the mix. I wanted the fellow deadheads to have a book of historical significance, a place to look back at all the fun we had, and maybe even learn a little bit more about Garcia. I wanted to share Jerry's musical legacy and what I had felt and experienced in going to his performances. I tried to create a thrilling adventure, a walk back through time, so to speak.
There you go.
So, you know, I started this big, beautiful book, an encyclopedia. I didn't call it that at first, but it just grew so big. I was like, what else can I call this? It's Jerry's venues and the most updated information as to where Jerry rehearsed, recorded, performed, lived, taught and bought guitars, his film editing, art studios, and all kinds of other interesting, odd little places, including scuba diving excursions, where he spent most of his time. I've always had a thing for historical building architecture, so I added as many photographs of Garcia-related venues as I could to complete this unique and revolutionary experience. Jerry's history at each venue includes the bands he played with, set lists, opening acts, and other information, giving the reader an idea of what went down at every date on every tour. My book is riveting from the first venue to the last venue, with hundreds of eyewitness accounts telling the story of one particular night. It's the ultimate reference reminisce type book for anybody who loves Jerry, Grateful Dead, all types of music, architecture, and historical theaters. So I'm trying to hit on a whole bunch of different subject matter in this book.
Got a question. RS70 asks, who created the cover?
That's a great question because he's a well-known poster artist. His name is Zeb Love. And he's done many Dead and Company posters, and I believe he also did some late, probably in '95, he did some Dead posters also. He's got a huge website online where you can look all that up.
How did you connect with him?
I just started searching online at posters, thinking I'm going to find a poster artist to do this. Right. And I kind of liked what he was doing more than most. So, yeah, I kind of had this idea about a skeleton and a globe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted, you know, that little scroll around the edge there.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted him to draw in the 4 guitar icons. And he did it well. He did really exactly what I asked of him.
Oh, I you know what? I didn't notice that. There's the tiger on the top left, wolf on the right?
Yeah, rosebud on the bottom left.
An alligator on the bottom right.
Right.
Yeah, cool.
And I had to get permission from the Jerry Garcia family estate to use those icons.
Is that right?
Yeah, but they were so nice about it, man. I have to give them a lot of credit for not putting me through hell to use them.
That's nice. That's nice to hear. You know, yeah.
I signed a $1 contract.
that's nice to hear because you hear stuff like that. It's usually like, you know, oh, they wanted this or that. And, you know, I think I would like to think that his estate sort of has enough sense and enough perspective to realize that something like your book and your project inevitably in the end really just brings more people to the party. More people come to the party to buy their officially licensed products and so on and so forth.
Yep. It's just the same as like, trading tapes.
Yeah, that's right.
They let it go,
Yeah, it brings more people to the party. We're going to take a sponsor break in a minute, and then we'll come back and we're going to hit the book real hard. But the book is huge. Are both volumes combined in one single book?
No, there's two books. There's actually two books.
Two books.
Volume 1, Volume 2. Each book is 1,100 pages. A total of about 2,200 pages total, and about 1,100 venue photos that I collected from everywhere you can even imagine.
Right.
That photo right there, that's me holding the books. You can see how big they are. They're about 3 inches thick each. I had to weigh them. They weigh 23 pounds. I found that out when I sent the original printer's proof book that I got to the Rex Foundation, and that's going to be in their silent auction on December 6th. And
just to initially let anybody out there, if anybody's interested, you could purchase the book at www.jerrygarciamusicvenues.com.
This is the spot right here.
Yep.
Easy to remember.
Yep. Easy to remember. Yep. Let me take a quick sponsor break. You got a couple of minutes, and we'll come back and let's get into how you put the book together, the Kickstarter campaign, and some personal favorites of yours. Okay.
Sounds great.
See you in a few. That's right. Harry G. Angus in the house. This is going to be cool. Everybody okay? Yeah, it is thicker than the phone book. It's huge. It's bananas. Let's do a sponsor break. Let's talk about some upcoming things, and we will be back with our guest in a minute. Since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues, soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as t-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
Will that be cash or in debt?
Do you mean debit?
Yes. Sorry. Another eternally satisfied customer.
Yo, what's happening? I'm out here at one of our all-ages Sunday matinees on the Bowery. I hope that you are enjoying today's show. I just want to let you know that the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live needs your support. Please step up. There is a Patreon page that has a lot of unique program. Shows are announced there first. Lots of good stuff. There's a PayPal address right there on the screen if you want to make a contribution. There's also a super chat function. You could do that, but the bottom line is this show exists because of your support. We're going to be doing it for a long, long time. Thank you for all your support through the years. Back to the show.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation, it's just the media telling us lies. Decipher fiction from the truth, society's slow and tragic demise. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Everyone's got their...
And we're back. The New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Want to mention some upcoming events and shows. Hey, I'm going down to Florida tomorrow for a couple days. I will be down in the down in that southern Florida area. I'm actually going to see Butterbrain play with Angelo from Fishbone on in Lake Worth on Saturday. But I will be coming back to New York on Saturday because it is Vinny Stigma's 70th birthday at Irving Plaza. So we're coming back for that. And then, of course, the next day, right here, we'll be back 1 week from today with John Bush from Armored Saint, Anthrax, and Category 7, co-hosted by Lori Dawn. A couple days later, Peter Bywaters of Peter and the Test Tube Babies on Wednesday, December 10th. And then Sunday, December 21st, rescheduled, co-hosted by Joel Gustin, John Gallagher from Raven. Sunday, December 28th, Candace of Walls of Jericho, Dave Ingram on Sunday, January 4th. Sunday, January 11th, Jennifer Finch of L7, co-hosted by Lori Dawn. Big Rob Shreds, Rob Castoria, Wednesday, January 21st. I got to announce this one. Howard Wolfing, a musician, author, just put out the Discords and Descends, an anthology. Lots of old DC punk and hardcore to talk about here. Oh, oops. How about, I guess we got to announce this soon. Yo, Pepper Keenan's coming on the show. What's up with that? Got Pepper coming on the show on Sunday, February 8th. I also need to announce Steve Berlin from Los Lobos coming on the show. So lots going on. Lots happening. And please, if you can, support is needed. There's the Patreon. Just take out your communication device and scan it. Join Patreon. There's a $2 tier, a $5 tier. It's our community within a community. I want to thank our latest patron, Tommy Cole, who's been a friend and supporter for a while. Appreciate you coming on board, Tommy. Always at our hardcore matinees. But there you go. Also, if you're watching the show in rerun, please subscribe to the Stone Films YouTube page right there. Hit subscribe. And also, I know it's a lot. I know you're sitting on your ass and you don't want to move. But lean over, give the show a thumbs up, give it a like or a heart or whatever. We need all the help we can get as we trudge. That's right. Pepper Keenan coming on the show. I got to announce that. So that said, yeah, I'll be in Florida this week, by the way, if anybody's down there, hanging out, seeing Arnie, seeing the Arnie Stone. Let's bring our guest back on of the Encyclopedia of Jerry Garcia Music Venues, Mr. Harry G. Angus. Amen. How you doing?
Doing great.
Good. So one thing I noticed that you did, tell us about how you did a Kickstarter campaign to go with the book. And what I really like is that in a lot of ways, what you're doing, what you did with this book is very parallel to kind of what we do in the punk and hardcore world. It's a real DIY venture. Can you tell us about it?
It's definitely a self-published book. From the minute I started, of course, I had help along the way, but I'm the guy.
Help on the way.
There's no corporation helping me out with financially. And that was painful, but I didn't let it get in my way. I kept pushing forward with it.
Did what you did the Kickstarter campaign? Did you hit your mark? Because I see what you did, and it looks like you got a good bunch of people in a lot of ways. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I've done similar. Really, kind of what you're doing in a Kickstarter campaign situation like that is you're kind of pre-selling the book, correct?
Correct. I had two Kickstarter campaigns. I did one in 2023, and it failed.
Ooh.
So I was like, oh God, now what am I going to do? Because I need this to get the thing printed, right?
Well, that's the downside of Kickstarter, isn't it?
Right. You only you have to make your set goal, or you don't get anything. That's how it works. So you got to work it really hard. So I let a year go by, thinking over how am I going to handle this? I'm going to wait till right before Christmas. So I kickstarted. I launched one on November 1st of 24. And that one ended about a week after Christmas, and I made my goal. So then in order to get people to do that, you have to reward them somehow.
In incentives.
In T-shirts, tote bags,
And that's what you did.
And I did that, and that's all a project all in itself. As is the packaging and the shipping off of all the books. Huge project is about to fall in my lap right now. The book is scheduled to show up tomorrow. There's been a couple of delays, so I'm like 80% confident that it's going to show up tomorrow.
That's exciting.
It's been, the printers had it since last April.
Wow.
So this is a thrilling moment that's about to happen for me. 16 years in the making.
Wow, it's finally coming to fruition. That's exciting. I mean, the amount of work you put into it, just
it's crazy. I mean, one of the biggest challenges I had was organizing it, adding updates and researching photos for each venue. A whopping 900 photographers I used. I had to have permission to use the photo. Then you have to actually have the guy send it to you. And these are all like multiple email conversations that ongoing with like 50 to 100 people at one time. I'm trying to get all these photos together, you know?
So a photo like this, which is from the book, obviously it looks to me like could be late 70s or early 80s. You have to track down the photographer. First you have to identify the photographer and then really track them down, correct?
Right, because a lot of them, you know, somebody that took a picture in 1970, I believe this is 78, I'm not positive, but, you know, a lot of those people aren't with us anymore. So
sure,
you got to find out who owns the actual photos.
Did you hit any dead ends?
Many. You know, and I've had like I've solidified a photo, got it in my file, and then I find one that's way better than that one. So then I have to start all over if I want to switch out a photo. You know,
I mean, some of the photos are just beautiful. Like
there's
like
a lot of really great marquee photos. That really was what I was searching for, but you know, you don't always come up with that. Was there
a go-to source for any of this, like Jay Blakesberg, or was there like anybody that sort of like no, it was just wherever you could find them?
No, I found them everywhere you could think of, anywhere online. I've been to many libraries. I've been to the state of New York's Hall of Records in Manhattan. We did an overnight red eye, and I ended up there. And I got, I don't know, 20 images of New York City where Garcia played or bought a flat there. There's another place called the Holland Tunnel Bar. That was the Blues Brothers bar.
They had like in the basement, right? They had their hangout spot. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And he would play in there. I mean, I ran into a guy who played with him in there.
And then some of the photos like this one of the convention center in Asbury. Did someone come out like this? Looks like a current photo. Did you shoot current photos of the venues as well?
I shot some photos myself, but most of those are in the Bay Area. This one was just a random. I think maybe this one might have came from Flickr. I'm not positive.
Right.
But yeah, that's where I'd find them. You know, and you'd have to wait for a reply after you make the request. And some photos, 5 years it took to get a photo. At any rate, you know, that's all over with at this point. Now it's all about shipping what I've already sold, which I've sold about 137 books at this point.
That's awesome.
So I'm almost halfway there, and I don't really have them in my possession yet.
I'm looking. I just want to show an example of what we're talking about. And this is, this is very early on in Grateful Dead. This is off your sample pages, but Magoo's Pizza Parlor is as legend would have it, is really the first place the Grateful Dead at the time the Warlocks played, correct?
No.
But no, Dana's Music Store was, right?
No, it's everybody says it's Magoo's, but a book came out recently called oh gosh, it's by Jim Newton. Beyond Description, I think it might be called. It's a brand new book, and he dates the first Warlock show as April Fool's Day of all days, 65.
Wow.
And that was at the Dining Commons at Menlo College. So I'm going with what Jim Newton says.
Right.
But in the book, this is brand new information. So in the book, I can't read what that says underneath there, but underneath the photo, but it might say this was the first Warlocks.
Yeah, it says Mother McCree's Uptown Jug Champions played, and then the Warlocks, so on and so on. And
well, the next page that you're looking at, that painting illustration,
that
was on the back wall of the Matrix.
Oh wow!
And nobody's ever seen that. Nobody that I've ever heard of was even in the Matrix.
How did you find that?
I wrote to the what is it called? The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And they hooked me up with somebody that knew what they had exactly, and that's what they had.
Wow.
They had the actual artwork. And I don't know, there's no name painted on it, like an autograph for an artist. But Marty Ballin is known to have painted all the walls in there. So
yeah, because I think wasn't Marty Balin involved initially of opening the Matrix, or was that the carousel?
His father helped him finance that. Yeah, him and a couple other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the airplane's rehearsal. Oh.
Right. That makes sense. In making the book, any personal venues that really resonated for you that you really this was I saw them there many times, and any places that were really spoke to you?
I would say the smaller venues, the Keystones and the Stone, more the Keystones, because they were, there was no Ticketron back then. You would just get in line when you heard that it was going to happen.
Right.
And the line itself became part of the whole event, It was like a party out there waiting to get in. But yeah, the smaller ones were what attracted my attention the most.
Courtney asked, what was the name of Jerry's favorite venue in Maryland? Did Jerry ever name his favorite venue?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
I guess that would probably be
Cap Center?
I guess maybe.
What else was in Maryland?
I don't know. I never heard that he ever said, "Oh, I really like that venue." I'm sure he liked the little ones too.
Yeah, and I do really love a lot of photos. So many photos of venues. But here's the Hollywood Bowl.
It's
the Hollywood Bowl. I've never been there.
Yeah, you notice there's a swimming pool in the front of the stage.
Right, they covered that, right?
They covered that, but when Hendrix played there, it was still there, and people jumped in and started swimming while he was playing.
Saw that. Oh, Merriweather Post Pavilion.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's a classic venue.
Yeah,
I've never been to the Hollywood Bowl.
Me either. Never been.
Yeah.
No.
Just a couple of others that sort of that caught my eye that I think that this is an iconic. It goes down in Grateful Dead lore. The Tower Theater in Pennsylvania, another beautiful place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good one.
I saw Rat Dog there, just not, I guess, God, it must be 10 years ago by now.
Scott Hart says, Winterland, Harry, sitting backstage with you and watching the crazy antics.
Yeah,
You saw shows at Winterland?
quite a few.
Oh, really? Tell
Yeah.
us about Winterland.
Well, Winterland used to be a skating rink.
That's right. They did the ice capades there.
They did the ice capades there, and originally it was built for boxing.
Right.
And there was a whole lot of that going on there, but Winterland had like where the second level was. It went all the way around, so you could walk all the way around and go behind the stage and sit back there. There was no assigned seating at Winterland. You just walked in and picked the spot. And what happened with me and my friends, my brother and Scott Hart, who just mentioned Winterland, we always ended up sitting in the exact same seats. It was like nobody would sit in our seats, it seemed like, because they knew they were our seats, and everybody in the place had the same kind of thing going on.
There's an indoor shot of Winterland, and you could see, you could actually be in the balcony and you could walk the whole circumference of the place.
All the way around, yeah.
Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore, bro.
No.
Well, and for those that may think that this might look slightly familiar, if you're familiar with Martin Scorsese's film The Last Waltz, which featured the band, that was shot here. That was shot at Winterland, and also Sex Pistols' final show was at Winterland in '78. So yeah, and then the closing.
The Sex Pistols' first show was at the Great Southeast Music Hall in Atlanta.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
And Jerry played there too.
that was the ill-fated only Sex Pistols American tour, which was all like, it was just bad. It was ill-conceived. They played all like cowboy bars and
shitholes.
And then it ended it ended at Winterland.
Wow.
With the great, you ever feel you've been robbed? John Lydon. Let's see what else I got here.
Do you mind if I hold this up again, because this is the real reason I'm here, as I want to sell my book.
Yeah.
And I've got
Jerry Garcia Music. Let me put it on let me scroll it on the bottom. Also, the book is available at www.jerrygarciamusicvenues.com. Don't be shy. It is an incredible book. Yeah, and we'll mention that a couple more times. Did you, once you moved out west? I'm looking for and now these are my personal stubs, right? This is from my collection. But
okay.
Did you get a chance to come back to the East Coast and see shows once you kind of went out west?
I think after, I think it was after, I can't remember if it was Keith or Brent, but after one of those died, I saw a show at the Spectrum.
At the Philly Spectrum?
Other than that, no.
Here's one of my stubs. This is from February 29th, 1980. And this is from the Calderone Concert Hall in Hempstead, Long Island. And a short-lived venue. Motorhead played there. The Rods played there. And I went and saw Jerry Garcia, although it says Rachel Sweet on the stub. Rachel Sweet was already off the tour by then, and they brought in Robert Hunter. She was booed off the stage, I think, previously a couple nights before at the Capitol Theater, I believe.
Yeah, it happened in Santa Cruz too, I think.
Yeah, they didn't want to hear Rachel Sweet. Robert Hunter they could deal with, but not Rachel Sweet. But I have very fond memories of this show. This Garcia band in 1980 was really my favorite, and I tell you, Garcia my favorite years of the band are really like 80 and 81. Those are sort of my halcyon years of the Dead, and part of the reason is that when I grew up here in Manhattan, and we waited out online, and I got tickets, and I saw every show at Radio City Music Hall,
Awesome.
and all within the first couple rows.
Wow.
We slept online, and I got tickets for every single night, all within the first couple rows, and it was a real game changer for me. I never saw music that close. I was just so in on it, and it was a real game changer.
Going back to Calderone Music Hall, the show you were at, Robert Hunter sat in and did Tiger Rose and Promontory Rider with Jerry.
That's right. Promontory Rider.
And the tickets were misprinted for that show.
Were they?
The G Jerry Garcia band, not J.
Kill for Peace says, I worked the Jerry Garcia show at the Nassau Coliseum in '89. Bill Graham yelled at me for walking on Jerry's Persian rug on stage. Still have the backstage pass. Well, that sounds like something Bill Graham would do. Did you ever have any interaction with Bill Graham?
Not face to face, no. But I've heard him yell at people. No, he was a good person, man. He definitely was.
I learned a lot from. I mean, I never met Bill Graham, but just from his folklore, I've learned a lot about how to be a righteous promoter and how to take care of bands. With the shows that we do. Believe it or not, a lot of the lineage of the shows that we put on, the free all ages Sunday matinee shows at the Bowery Electric, a lot of it as far as artist accommodations and treating the audience with respect. I learned just from reading about the folklore of Bill Graham.
I used to live. I was basically his neighbor in Corte Madera at one point. He lived up above me on a hill above us.
Right on. RS70 asks, will there be any signed copies available?
I'm signing every copy. I'm signing and numbering every copy.
Yeah, that's what we do in this DIY ethos of ours. It's signed, it's numbered, you get it, you're buying it from the author, directly from the author, and that's what's up.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. Then I was in San Francisco that summer, the day Jerry died. I remember calling my dad from a payphone to tell him it was $4.25 in quarters. There you go. Did you see? And I know we're kind of bouncing all over the place here, but did you see the Dead towards the end of their run, like in the mid '90s?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly Shoreline would be where I probably saw them at that point.
Did you feel sort of the what's the nice way to put it?
It was painful.
Yeah.
You knew it wasn't going to last. It was over,
I saw that last show in '95, and it was awful.
Oh, you went to Chicago?
No. I went. The last show I saw at Giant Stadium here.
Okay.
They played Unbroken Chain, and like Garcia had his back to the audience. You couldn't even hear him. It was something was really wrong.
Wow.
Here's another. These are my shows, but just touching on a couple of classic music venues. This is a Capitol Theater in Passaic, New Jersey, and the date is February 13th, 1981. John Shear, who started out doing smaller stuff, ended up being a real key player in the Dead promotion. But I saw a lot of great shows at the Capitol Theater, and our friend Roger Moret grew up right around the corner from the Capitol Theater, from Agnostic Front. So yeah, that's. Oh, Al Mitchell from Circus of Power says, yeah, Bill Graham was great in Apocalypse Now. He was. Yeah. So these are a couple of mine. I'm just doing a little show and tell. I'm cool too, Let me see. Oh, here's a good one, man. This one ties in. I tell you, for our audience, I just saw Biohazard play at this venue. Does anybody know what the E.M. Lowe's Theater in Worcester, Mass is now known as? Anybody out there? I saw Garcia there in 82. Talk about a rundown old theater.
Yeah.
It was a dump in 1982. The place, you thought the whole place was going to cave. It was a dump. But Jerry used to play a lot of these dumps, man. That's right. That's right. It's the Worcester Palladium now. That's
Oh,
right.
wow. Oh,
Yeah, it's the Worcester Palladium. They've refurbished it. They renovated it. That's right, everybody. That is the so you could imagine, right? I was just there. I was just there and saw Biohazard play. And when I saw Garcia play there in 82, it was a whole, we were very, very high on the LSD. And it was quite a different world. It's pretty wild to come back and see these venues again. Let me ask you, what was the biggest challenge for you putting the book together?
Searching out the photos. No question about it. I spent a lot of time doing that. Yeah.
And you hit a couple dead ends where you just couldn't use them?
Yeah, there's quite a few photos that are just, there are none. I mean, if I couldn't find them in 16 years of searching, I got to know that nobody ever took a photo of it. But there is one really cool one that I got from Peter Albin.
Oh, from Big Brother?
Yeah. It's from the Boar's Head, one of the original Boar's Head.
Wow.
That they basically, it was an upstairs from a bookstore, from the Carlos bookstore. And they used to go up there and have a little hootenannies up there. And that's where David Nelson and the Albin brothers, they were heavily involved in that.
This is a good question from RS. Are the Jerry Garcia band shows before the Grateful Dead were created?
No, but Jerry, the Warlocks started in '65, and before that, Jerry had several kind of folk jug band collections of musicians or collections of friends who wanted to be musicians, and it just kept evolving until he came up with this concoction of musicians who he thought might work. I lost you.
Sorry, my fault. Pressing buttons. Just to reiterate what Harry said, Garcia played as a folk artist very early on.
He did.
And he was like a folky, like you might think of an early Bob Dylan playing with an acoustic. He was a folky early on. And then they got into playing electric rock and roll music, and that's
actually even before the folky part, he was a bluegrass. He was a banjo player, and when he passed on, he left. I think the total is 15 banjos behind. He collected banjos from all over the country.
I did not know that,
and that's all in my new book coming out, hopefully in mid-spring of next year. Jerry's musical instruments, and that's all in there.
Yeah,
he had about 125 instruments in his life. So,
since we're kind of going where the horse leads us, so you're looking down the road at the next project, Jerry Garcia, Jerry's musical instruments book.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, and some stuff is obvious, right? Like we talked about. Some of the guitars he played are iconic and have been sold for millions of dollars. Right. But there's a lot of sort of in-between instruments. Are you doing his gear too, like his amps and stuff like that?
No, actually, Blair Jackson's already done a gear book.
Right.
So I haven't gone near that. But no, there's plenty of things on his instruments, plenty of things and how they altered them from time to time. And I'm not the genius for that book. There's another guy, his name is Tom Wright, He's a musician in Portland, Oregon, extremely knowledgeable in musical instruments, and he's my co-author of that book.
And here is arguably the last. This is arguably the last shot, one of the last shots of Garcia at the last show he played in Chicago in 1995. But I'm putting this up so everybody can kind of see the beauty of these instruments that he played.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really beautiful.
Uh-huh.
I mean, my favorite, the one that really spoke to me, the one that I really tripped out on the most was Tiger. That's the one that for me that's sort of the instrument. But he, I mean, Jerry Garcia was a very, very interesting character. He was a great American hero. And what's incredible is in this picture, he's 53 years old,
Yeah.
which is just mind-boggling. 53 here, he ran at it hard.
In 86, when he got sick, he went into a coma, and when he woke up from the coma, his first thing that he said, "I'm not Beethoven."
Meaning he's not deaf; he can hear, right?
I
think that was the reference. I'm not like I can hear. That said, what else do I got here? What is this one? Well, then of course, I'm just bouncing around, but another one from my personal collection is an infamous venue here in Manhattan. This is from the Palladium, downtown at the Palladium, 21181. If you look at the row, it's AA, which means that's literally first row.
Right.
So I saw Jerry Garcia band first row in 1981, and the Palladium is a venue. Unfortunately, it's not there anymore. They tore it down for an NYU to make, I think, an NYU dorm. But let me show sort of the
same thing with the bottom line. That's what happened with the bottom line.
That's right. That's right. You're
talking about November 10th of 81. There was an early and a late show. Am I right?
I think so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the promoter was Matus.
Yeah, Matus Wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the opening act was Peter Rowan. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Okay.
I do not remember that. But here's a Palladium show, which kind of is sort of in our zone, which was a couple years later, of course, with Agnostic Front and Murphy's Law and some of our buddies. Yeah. I do remember.
Did you go to the 6/25/82 show with just John Kahn?
I did. Well, I went to this. I had
Sandy Alexander's son. It was a benefit for him. The Hell's Angel.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a historic one.
I went to this one at Lincoln Center, right here in my neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
In Lincoln Center, Avery Fisher Hall, which is now David Geffen Hall. It was Jerry Garcia solo, and I think at this point he tapped out. I think that he played one show truly solo, and then they called in John Kahn. But yeah. I saw this was pretty epic. This was 84.
I'm looking at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He played a Takamine EF 360C 1982 guitar.
That's right.
There was a near riot outside.
Yep. Because
some idiotic deadheads rushed the door.
That's right. I remember all this. Yeah. And I also remember the ticket price of $16 was astronomical at the time. And that's bullshit. $16. Wow. That was a big deal. I do have to say that my favorite photo, the one, to me, this is my favorite photo of Senor Jerry Garcia right here.
Oh.
It's just great. Yeah. On that 78 Egypt tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that said, let me see.
So, going back
Go
to
ahead.
that Avery Fisher Hall, 84 with John Kahn,
Yeah,
I got to read this quote that somebody that I
please.
Jerry was looking pretty rough this night. Robert Hunter played the opening set and finished by singing Boys in the Barroom a cappella without a microphone. That he filled up the opera house with his bare voice was a stark contrast to Jerry, who at times we could barely hear even with a microphone. No encore because those in the front row rushed the stage after the last song and ripped the strings off of John Kahn's bass.
I find a hard time believing that at Avery Fisher Hall, and I was there. I don't remember that, but I tell you what, I do vividly remember Robert Hunter quieting the audience and saying, "I want to try something here," and he had him turn off the PA, and he actually tried to project. He projected. He actually had every. Yeah, it was. I vividly remember that.
Wow.
Yeah, I do. Let me. This is an interesting. Let me ask you about. This is a venue that I saw them at out west, and it sort of goes down in folklore. But do you have any recollections of the Greek theater?
Oh, for sure.
Please tell us about it.
Oh man, I went to a lot of Greek shows. Off the top of my head, I can't really come up with a story, but I probably find one in my.
But it was a sort of a really special sort of venue for the Grateful Dead, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
It had a great vibe, that place,
until they got banned.
I think they got banned just because they would overwhelm the place, right?
They did,
yeah.
I'm trying to find something off the top of my head here.
Yeah.
Which show did you go to with the Greek?
Saturday, May 4th. I went to all three on this run, but this is a stub that I pulled out of my collection. Saturday, May 14th, 1983.
Okay.
Yeah.
May 14th?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think they had some large hot air balloons they launched from backstage at these shows. As to the gals, I never heard these nicknames, but I knew them in Santa Cruz. Julie, her niece in front, Debbie, and Allison, the horse lady, ruined many an audience tape with her ecstatic neighing.
Oh,
she
God.
liked to talk about going to the Egypt shows in '78. I think it was the day after this '83 show that they went topless during second set. I was at that show. I remember her. And she was in the Bay Area at every show I went to, all the Garcia shows, all the Winterland, everywhere I went. Her and her entourage of, I don't know what you would call them, women.
Fast and loose San Francisco women.
She had like this long blonde hair, and she would whip it around, like whip her neck around, and her hair would be flying and hitting people in the face and stuff. And at this show, she took her top off. I remember it.
Things got out of control. I mean,
Yep.
for those who may not know, basically the Grateful Dead in the end collapsed under their own weight. The crowds became bigger and bigger and bigger, and inevitably, and I think this can be said about a lot of music scenes. Initially, it's a tight-knit family of people, but they were victim of their own success. As they got bigger, a lot of outsiders came in, and a lot of people that were just there to get high or to buy drugs or to sell drugs or to sell whatever. And a lot of people kind of entered in that really didn't care about anything other than a good time or getting rowdy. And they just overwhelmed places.
Yeah.
And I was there. I saw a lot of this. They overwhelmed venues. And the cities did not want them back.
Right. Yeah. It got messy.
It got messy. And and now some places out west could handle a little bit easier. But when a lot of places on the East Coast here, that are in real urban areas or downtown areas, they couldn't handle being besieged by this.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. RSS, the Grateful Dead is a heavy name for that kind of music. Does anyone know how the name was created?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
They were at Phil's house. Jerry and Phil were at Phil's house, and actually Hank Harrison, who ended up being a really good friend of mine in his later years, he's passed on.
Isn't Hank Harrison Courtney Love's father?
That's true, yes. Hank Harrison was also their first manager, so to speak. He booked the Warlocks, basically.
Yeah.
But what were we talking about?
How they came up with the name. The Grateful Dead.
They were at Phil's house, Jerry and Phil, and they had this big dictionary. I think it was called Child's Dictionary, but I'm not off the top of my head. I can't remember anything. And Jerry was flipping through it, and he put his finger down on something, and it said Grateful Dead. And they all were like, "Yeah, let's do that."
Yeah, because they were the Warlocks initially, and it turns out there was another band called the Warlocks. Also, the Velvet Underground, I think, initially was called the Warlocks. So, but
there's actually quite a few Warlocks bands,
right,
at the same time. So, in my research, I had to be really careful about thinking I discovered a new Warlock show when I came across a Warlock show.
Mm.
You know, and I found a handful of them that nobody knows about, and they're in that book.
Mm.
And they, they competed in a lot of high school things after they were not in high school anymore. I've got a date where they played. One night they played as the Warlocks, and the next night they played as the Grateful Dead, and the night after, and then 4 months later they played as the Warlocks again.
Oh wow!
So I got all that kind of stuff in there. That hasn't been seen in print. Maybe people know about it, but I never heard about it.
I'm looking for the. I want to answer this. Okay, yeah, I'm going to address this right here. Hold on. Somebody asks, "Is that Courtney Love on the back of the Dead album?"
No.
The record you're referring to is Oxamoxa.
Yeah,
and the girl is here on the right. And as people always said, "Oh, that's Courtney Love." Turns out that's not Courtney Love. Courtney, like Harry said, Courtney's father, Hank Harrison, was an early manager of the Warlocks / Grateful Dead. But the little girl on the back of Oxamoxa, as it turns out, is not Courtney Love.
No.
That makes sense.
There was a couple of sisters who had horses where that photo was taken at Olimpoli. That's where that photo's from. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was the daughter of one of those women.
Let me take a sponsor break, a quick one, and we'll come back and we'll head down the home stretch. We'll take some questions from around the world, and we'll give the book another push. Okay, Harry?
Good. Thanks.
See you in a minute. That's what's up. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I know it's a little bit different. I'm enjoying it. We are sponsored by blah, 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 and She Devil's Coven is a female-owned entrepreneur business based out of Connecticut. Owner Rachel King Keys handcrafts soy wax candles set with intentions for your sanctuaries. She's accomplished a life goal dream since beauty school, debuting our artist showcase Hotties and Hillians that feature live bands, burlesque, sideshow acts, vendors, food trucks, and this year a live auction, with all proceeds going to the mental health program Punk Rock Saves Lives. Capturing the tri-state area, doing her thing, slinging candles at events, and keep an eye out for her show coming to New York in the spring of 2026. You can find her on Etsy and on Instagram. Come on now, Joe Romini. The Texas Silver Rush is a jewelry designed for a boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as to style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rolle, Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. Information and online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram page, and of course, www.texassilverrush.com. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to our new sponsor. And these are a couple friends of ours from this area. Minty Fresh Presents are a promotion company that put on hardcore metal shows at Locals Bar in Manalapan, New Jersey. Founded by Chris Golas of Bulldoze and Frankie DeAngelis of Silence Equals Death, the shows are all ages with plenty of free parking. The kitchen's open all night and the bar until 2 a.m. If you're a band looking to play and you don't totally suck, or if you do suck but draw a fuckload of people, reach out to them at mintyfreshpresents@gmail.com. Ticket pre-sales for events are available at mintyfreshnj.com. Check them out on Instagram at mintyfreshnj and help spread the word to support DIY hardcore and metal in central New Jersey. Minty Fresh Presents. Excited to have them on board. I want to mention a couple of upcoming events. This is ongoing up at Bridge 9. The Todd Pollock photography exhibition is still going on up there. Steven is playing this Friday. Stigma, 70 years. Vinny Stigma is coming up this Saturday at Irving Plaza. I am moderating the Harley Flanagan Wired for Chaos event at Generation Records on Saturday, December 13th. And the next day is the Holiday Slamboree with My War, Butterbrain, Tree, Serial Poets, and World of Chaos. It is the Women of the Pit annual coat drive. Yo, we're doing the My War thing. We're revving it up. New singers, new songs. It's going to be epic. Bring on down your new or gently used winter coat. This is our annual event. We look forward to seeing you. ID is playing the benefit for Jimmy Williams, a singer for Maximum Penalty. That is at the Brooklyn Monarch on December 20th, featuring the New York Hardcore All-Stars with Chaka from Orange 9 and Burn, Craig Satari of Sick of It All, Armand from Sick of It All, Matty Pasta, Scarhead, Incendiary Device, Tony Slippers, and others. Come out and support this important event for our friend Jimmy Williams. Yo, Sunday, January 18th, free all ages Sunday matinee down at the Bowery Electric. If it's free, it's for me. Sworn Enemy, Brass Knuckle Brigade, Nailed to the Cross, Dead Shot, and Fracture with DJ Sid the Kid. Yo, ID's playing with Tree up in Albany at Empire Underground on Saturday, January 1st. And the next day, we're going to be in Kingston, New York, the jewel of upstate New York, with Brutality, RBNX, Faded Line, and Prize Fighter. So come on out, make it happen. Questions for our guest today, Harry G. Angus, the Encyclopedia of Jerry Garcia music venues. Go deep, get weird. Please post your questions now. I want to thank everybody for supporting the show. I want to thank all the Facebook pages. Thanks for passing the link around. And just a quick reminder, of course, we will be back 1 week from today, co-hosted by Lori Dawn with our friend John Bush. That said, post your questions up. Come on. Let's bring Harry back on. Hey, man. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, this is kind of an interesting one. I think this is worth asking, Harry. Do either of you guys think a band has replaced the Dead as far as a band that people follow? Fish, Dave Matthews Band, another? How do you answer that, Harry?
Well, there's always Dead and Company for Deadheads.
Yeah.
It's not my thing. I've been to several of them. And, it's a great band. And it's the same people that went to the shows when Jerry was alive. So that part of it I really liked. But the missing link wasn't there. So it's kind of just a dead end is what I would call it.
Sure.
Fish does it. They've been doing it for 30 some odd years. I've been to a handful of their shows.
I'm not a big Fish fan.
I'm not either, but
they don't do it for me.
Yeah. Well, the one show that I went to at the Shoreline that was Fish, they had the trampolines out.
Yeah,
And Phil Lesh came out and played the bass on a trampoline.
that's cool.
Other than that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my answer to that is it's like, did anybody replace Minor Threat? Different generations, new generations come up underneath it. Somebody mentioned Widespread Panic. We mentioned Fish. It's like there was only one Minor Threat, but for the next generation, there was Gorilla Biscuits or whatever. So other bands come up and the sort of the community and the culture. I was around. I was fortunate. I saw a lot at a very young age. I saw a lot of Grateful Dead shows, and so for me, they're my Minor Threat, and I did see Minor Threat a lot also. Yeah, no on Fish and no on Dave Matthews Band. I'm with you 100%. And no on either. I just need those two bands. Just don't do it. What's interesting, Harry? I went and saw Yorma last night. And hey, Al, I saw Yorma last night. Didn't your old buddy from Canarsie play drums with Yorma for a minute? Al Mitchell, what was his name? Hank. Didn't Hank play drums for Yorma? Anyway, we were coming home from Carnegie Hall last night. We drove past the Beacon Theater, and Trey was playing the Beacon last night. We kind of drove past, and Trey from Fish was was playing. Did you ever see the classic Jefferson Airplane?
I did not. I saw the Starship for free in Central Park, though.
That was a great show.
That was fun.
That's a legendary show.
Was it?
Yeah, that's a legend. That Park show, what was that, 74?
I thought it was 75.
70, no, it could be 75.
Yeah.
For those that may not know, Jefferson Airplane morphed into Jefferson Starship. A lot of the same people were in the band, and I keep mentioning Yorma. What basically the biggest difference between Jefferson Airplane and Jefferson Starship was Yorma Kaukonen and Jack Cassidy left and started the band Hot Tuna, and then they continued as Jefferson Starship without them. So, if that makes sense. And Jorma Kaukonen is an artist I've seen many hundred times. He was huge in my world as a young person. Joe Romini, shouting out Joe Romini, Texas Silver Rush.
Drew, do you remember the T-shirt? Jesus saves and Yorma lives.
Yeah. Joe Romini, hey Drew Stone, shout out from Fredericksburg, Texas. Hope to see you at Agnostic Front show next weekend. The Outlaw Vinny Stigma birthday bash. Yes, I will be there. We're coming back from Florida for it. So I'll see you at Irving Plaza, Joe. Let's see. Is that right? Trey's free live stream this weekend's big and exceptional from the Beacon Theater. Yeah. Yep. Yorma and Ace Frehley are my guitar heroes. Let us once again just want to remind everybody that the book is the Encyclopedia of Jerry Garcia music venues, and it can be purchased at www.jerrygarciamusicvenues.com. With us today is the author, Harry G. Angus. This is an incredible work. It's an incredible labor of love, and it is really, really... What was your question, man? Repost it. What else? And the books are coming in tomorrow. You excited?
Oh, I couldn't be more excited. In the days ahead, I'm going to start signing and numbering sold copies, which are about 140 right now. Mm-hmm. I'll be boxing and shipping them out to their lucky owners. I'll be promoting the book everywhere I can find to do that. And speaking of this rare and irresistible encyclopedia, makes a great holiday gift for that special Jerry fan in your life. So order it today before this golden opportunity is gone. This is a limited edition, and there are only 165 copies left of this first and only printing. And
RS is asking, are the books sold separately, or is it a package deal for the two of them?
It's sold together, 2 volumes.
Okay.
Let's
makes
see,
sense.
what else have we got?
How many first printing? What'd you make? 300?
300 copies.
Bro, you better get ready to reorder, man.
I'm not planning on it. I like to try and keep it rare like that.
Who's more punk rock than you, Harry G. Angus?
What's that?
I said, who's more punk rock than you? He wants to keep it at 300, everybody. That's awesome.
It's not about money. It's fun.
Well, you might have to bend eventually, because if the demand is really overwhelming, it's like, I can't, Dead Base is really expensive now. Like, I don't understand why they don't just make an affordable copy of it,
Right. Well, right now, my one and only focus is to sell the remaining books so I can go ahead and publish the next volume, volume 3, right. Jerry's Musical Instruments, to complete my little dream. My final volume 3 is finished, but it needs crowdfunding, so that'll take place probably in January or February.
Yeah.
If you're passionate about the music and legacy of Jerry Garcia, and if you ever saw Jerry perform, or even if you didn't, maybe you've just been to a concert at an interesting building somewhere, or maybe you're an aspiring architect, or an audiophile, or an archivist, this book belongs on your bookshelf, and I guarantee you will find pleasure every time you reference it. It's like a walk down Shakedown Street. And don't forget, it can only be bought in one place. That's at JerryGarciaMusicVenues.com.
There you go.
And I wanted to mention also that I've met so many great people inside the Grateful Dead world who gave me advice and material, from Hank Harrison to Rosie McGee to David Gans. Their interest and excitement about my book, specifically in combining the venue piece of it, sets my book apart from other Jerry books. Their feedback was greatly appreciated, and it kept me moving forward to the end. I'm not doing this to make any money, by the way. I just want to get back what I put into it, and that's an exceptional sum most people would never do. But
there you go.
Yeah, it's not about the money for me. I just wanted to get it out there because nobody else was putting this together. We got a Dead base, but we have a Jerry base online, but nothing on paper.
Okay, here's thank you for the super chat, RS. What car did he drive across the country in?
Me?
Yeah,
or Jerry.
You.
It was a 72 Audi 100 LS.
Wow.
Yeah. And Jerry drove across country, and it's all in the book. All his stops on his cross country trip in May of '64 with Sandy Rothman. I got all the information right from Sandy, who's a great help with the early stuff that I discovered.
You talked to Sandy?
Oh, sure, plenty of times. Yeah.
So what we're getting at here, people, is that actually Jerry Garcia was an incredible bluegrass fan, and he traveled across the country with a couple of his buddies taping bluegrass shows. And that's so. Here's a guy that lived it. Jerry Garcia traveled around the country and slept in his vehicle and recorded shows on a reel-to-reel, right?
On a Wollensack reel-to-reel that he brought with him. Yep.
Right. And that's part of the reason that I think, and I think it's sort of, except that why they sort of always had such a laissez-faire attitude as far as people taping their shows and spreading the tapes around, because Jerry Garcia was a taper. He taped shows. He traded tapes. And
that's really where I started to get the idea of developing this encyclopedia thing. Was I collected cassette tapes, and on every cassette tape I had, there was a date and a name of a venue.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I was like, well, man, why isn't anybody written about all these venues that we all have them in our heads? We have a date connected up to a venue like it's holy or something.
Yeah. Mano DePore, I think you hit it on the head, brother. this book definitely is a lot more than just about the concerts, but also about a lot of these legendary music venues that no longer exist.
Right.
That's and if you're a
I cover everything with the venues, restorations, demolitions, all kinds of artifacts that are in the old historic theaters, and what happened to the pipe organs that were custom made for these places.
yeah.
You know, chandeliers and just some amazing stuff that was built into the older theaters, and a lot of stuff happened in these places long before Jerry came along.
Sure.
And that's all in there. All the highlights of each venue are in there.
And like we talk about, I mean, some venues, even like this, is so rich in history, like the Uptown Theater in Chicago, so rich in entertainment history. You know, sure, Jerry Garcia, Grateful Dead, but some of these they played a lot of really important historical places in his career.
Right.
Did you ever meet did you ever meet Jerry, or did you ever meet any Grateful Dead members?
I bumped into him at the Keystone Palo Alto, but I wouldn't call that meeting.
I guess that's it. Did he meet any other members? I guess we assume that was a meeting.
No,
Yeah.
I never have. No, I never actually pursued it, but no.
Yeah. No, it's a little weird, right?
Yeah, I didn't really need that. I got everything I wanted from them on stage, so
Yeah. Dumpling Beth, what's up? Hey, y'all, from snowy Wisconsin. Beautiful cover. Hey, Beth, and thanks for tuning in. It's nice, some new faces tuning in to the show today, Harry, as opposed to our usual sort of rough and tumble crowd.
There's somebody asking, did Jerry ever play at CBGB's?
I don't think so.
No, because that's after he did play in that building. I believe it was called the Electric Circus at that time.
No, different place. Different place. Electric Circus as well. But he did play Roseland Ballroom, and I did see the Jerry Garcia band at the Roseland Ballroom, which is another venue rich in musical history.
They used to have a Lincoln photo of the Roseland Ballroom.
Oh yeah,
really nice photo. Yeah. And then there's this other Versago one. Jerry even recorded his wedding reception.
Duet in the early.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one.
I haven't heard of that either.
I know this is a little small, this shot, but Cal Expo. Were you ever at Cal Expo?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a sort of
shot. That's Dennis McNally's wife and a very good photographer.
Mm.
And yeah, I went to quite a few Cal Expo shows. Crazy party in the parking lot every time. That was a wild place.
How many shows do you think? How many Grateful Dead shows do you think you saw?
Oh boy, it's hard to really come up with a number.
You never tried. You never tried to figure that one out.
I mean, I kind of came up with a list of places that I saw them.
Mm-hmm.
Holt Park, Boston Music Hall, Capitol Passaic, Hofheinz Pavilion, Houston, Red Rocks, McNichols, Tempe, Seattle Center Memorial Coliseum, Cow Palace, Winterland, Keystone Palo Alto, Keystone Berkeley, The Stone, Shoreline, Spartan Stadium. First Brent Show.
You were at that? That was what was that in Santa Barbara?
No, that's San Jose.
San Jose, right.
Downs of Santa Fe, Watkins Glen, Golden Gate Park, Greek Berkeley, Kaiser, Oakland Coliseum, Spectrum. Goes on and on.
You saw that Spartan Stadium Brent's first show?
I did, yeah.
That must have been kind of cool. Like, wow, where are we going with this now?
Oh no, it was really wow, what's going on here?
Yeah, right? That must have been a bit of like, whoa.
Yeah, he made his mark the first day though.
Yeah, huh? Here's just as we head down the home stretch here, just want to say here's another page from the beautiful book. So everybody can see kind of the format and of what we're talking about here with the Encyclopedia of Jerry Garcia Music Venues. There's the Leroy Theater in Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
It's basically arranged in alphabetical order by state and then by each venue in that state.
Yep.
And it includes all the foreign countries and all of that stuff too. There's even a lot of stories about Switzerland, and they didn't actually play there, but the whole entourage went there thinking they were going to play, but it didn't work out. But the stories of that trip are worth it having in the book.
Hey, just as a side note, my 50th show that I saw in 1983, this was my 50th Grateful Dead show in 1983, was Alfond Arena in Orono, Maine. And if you know where Orono, Maine is, it's the middle of nowhere. And this venue was in the middle of the woods. And this was my 50th of 140 shows.
How come you weren't up there?
I was on the road. We were wheeling and dealing, and I was on the road. You know, I saw a lot of shows in a short period of time.
That building, the Alfond Arena, it kind of looks like a bunch of circus tents all put together.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was a really strange little venue. You know. Is that right? I'm in Pawtucket, Rhode Island right now. That's where I live.
Oh, no kidding.
Hey, Josh. That's funny.
Actually, that show, that was 4/19/83 at Alfond.
Yeah.
That was the first concert ever held in that building.
It felt like it was a one and done. It was like a real weird, you know, on any of those, I think this could be said for anything, but on a lot of Dead tours, I remember there's always a couple real weird out of the way places, you know, and you got to really want it. You know, you got to really, we're going to go deep and hopefully get rewarded for it. Right. And that was one of those like go deep shows in the middle of the woods in Maine. And it was my 50th show.
So at the start of the second set of that show, Bobby was playing with his guitar, trying to get it started, when Jerry goes right ahead and starts up Sugar-E. The first 3 minutes or so were without Bobby.
Wow. I do remember they played On the Road Again, and that was a big deal. On the Road Again Electric. I do remember.
Oh yeah, it's on the set list. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. It was like Drew's 50th show, On the Road Again. That was like,
you got a Lazy Lightning supplication too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What was it? What ended the set? Lazy Lightning supplication deal?
Might As Well ended the set.
Ooh, that was good. That's a good one. Might As Well.
While we're talking about Might As Well, the Festival Express in detail, man, with everybody that Jerry jammed with on the train.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good chapter of the book too.
We're talking about Festival Express. It was released as a film many years later, and the film is fantastic. Janis Joplin's in it, Rick Danko, and it's a real snapshot of when they got on a train and toured Canada. So there you go. Did you both follow them across country on tour? I did. At a certain point, as a very young teenager, I did, and went from the East Coast to the West Coast in 1983.
I did. Went on a tour. I actually handpicked shows that I wanted to go to, but I never followed them from town to town.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a great movie, Al. Festival Express is really great. It's a great snapshot of sort of that moment, that era. Buddy Guy's in it. It's great. And I'm a big Janis Joplin fan. And she's just breathtaking. She's just breathtaking. Her performance.
That's where Jerry asked Buddy Guy to take his spot in the New Riders.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
That's cool. All right. Well, that said, one more time, I just want to let everybody know that the Encyclopedia of Jerry Garcia Music Venues is available at www.jerrygarciamusicvenues.com. Our guest today was the author Harry G. Angus, And I told you we were going to have some fun. Let me see. Drew, I'll message you on Facebook with my email so I can email Jerry's wedding gig from 63 in Palo Alto.
Yeah,
I'll email it.
All of that, I would love to see that.
I'll email you too with it, Harry. All right, sure. That's great. Thank you. Is there anybody you want to thank? Is there anybody you want to shout out?
There's several people.
Please.
My friends who I did all this traveling with from the Grateful Dead days right through the finding photographs and taking photos myself. Brian Casey, my girlfriend Robin Brown. We were photo hogs for years, searching out the photos. My brother, a graphic designer who's helped me through a whole bunch of not the actual book production, but the marketing end of it. And some other friends, Scott Hart, Carl Ellerbrook. And probably that's enough for today.
Hey, this just did very interesting. I love when new people kind of chime in. Brian Jeanpool says, I went to school in Orono, Maine for 4 years, and in my time there was never a concert there. So you're most likely right about one and done with concerts at the Alfond Arena, just hockey games there. 100%. I remember it was a little hockey arena, sort of. Brian, do I remember right? I remember it kind of almost like being in the woods. It was like a little place. It was surrounded by woods at the time. Really interesting place. So hold the book for me, Harry. I gotta buy one. I gotta have one. So I gotta put in an order sooner than later. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. I really enjoyed it, and let's keep in touch.
All right. Thanks, Drew, for having me.
Thanks, Harry. Good night. Take care. Bye-bye. There you have it. Harry G. Angus, author, the Encyclopedia of Grateful Dead, of Jerry Garcia music venues. I know it was a little bit different, gang. I appreciate everybody hanging in there, but it brought me a lot of joy. So thank you. Thank you for coming along on the ride. No, I don't think Jerry ever jammed with Wayne Kramer. I don't think that happened. Is that right? That's right. Grateful Dead Yule log live on YouTube right now. Thanks. It was good. I got to break it up once in a while. It can't be hardcore all the time, you know? So, cool. Good stuff. I really enjoyed it. Rich Zola, what's up, bro? Better late than never, dude. Good to see you. Al Mitchell, my man. Oh, you know what, Al? Wait, wait, you posted about your old pal, Hank, right? You did post something about that, right? About Hank playing. Yes. I saw Yorm at the Lone Star in New York City. It was great. Also had the first back piece I've ever seen on a musician. I think Bob Roberts did it. Hung out with him and Ricky Mahler after the show. Right. Yep. I talked to Yorm a while back about all those Lone Star days and everything, his sort of those days. Yep. Okay. Nah, it's right on campus, but the whole campus is in the woods, kind of in comparison to New York City. Yeah. You know? Hey, I'm from New York City. So more than 2 trees together is like the woods to me, you know? It was an interesting story, and I know nothing. This dude was punk rock. This dude did this whole thing himself and did a Kickstarter campaign and pre-sold it. He's going to the post office, and fucking shipping everything out. What car did you drive following the Grateful Dead across country? Yo, a Ford Econoline 250 van with a whole bunch of us in it. This same van that those pictures I put of us going to see Minor Threat, That same van, my red Ford Econoline van. Here you go, right here. Oh, these are great. What van did I drive around to see the Grateful Dead? It was this van. Wait, I got some pictures. Hold on. Here's the back of my van on the way to see Minor Threat and SSD Control. Here's the infamous Jake Phelps, who later was the editor of Thrasher magazine. That's Jake and Paul Richards in the back of my van. On the left, that's Jimmy Johnson, who started Forced Exposure, the magazine. My red Econoline Ford van. Yep. You want to know how we packed? Yo, here's a bunch of skinheads sleeping in the back of my van, circa 1980, 82, right there. Yeah, it was a big old Ford van. It was like a tank. The thing was a tank. You know, we used to laugh. We used to say it used to drive itself. This Ford Econoline used to drive. It was a tank. Like we'd be flying down the highway. If I was flying down the highway, like down the Mass Pike or something, and there was something in the back of the van I needed, I would just get up from the driver's seat and walk to the back of the van and get it. The thing would just stay on the road. You know, I don't think it had power steering. You know, I'd be like pulling the wheel. I'd be flying down the road. I'd get up, walk in the back, open the cooler, whatever, and then slowly walk to the front and hop behind the seat. The thing would just stay on the road. Thank you. That Sam Cutler show I did was a big personal highlight of mine. That was really big in my world to have Sam Cutler, the Rolling Stones tour manager and Grateful Dead tour manager, on my show. We need Brody on the show. Yeah, sure. You know what we're announcing real soon is Steve Berlin from Los Lobos and Pepper Keenan from Corrosion. They're coming on. What you know about that? What you know? Oh wait, so here's a word on the two worlds that I straddled in 1982, right? Because I rode the rails with the Grateful Dead before I went to my first hardcore show. I went to my first hardcore show and it changed my life. But I didn't abandon the Grateful Dead world and the stuff that I loved. Here's a shot of me driving that van. This is on the way to the Minor Threat show. I'm behind the wheel there, in between shaving my head, wearing the Hot Tuna, speaking of Jorma Kaukonen, the Hot Tuna America's Choice vest. They were like slam dancing in my van right there. Yep. Kenny Hickey won't do the show. I've asked him many times. Kenny Hickey won't do it. He kind of says, yeah, when I see him, but I can't. I'd love to get Kenny on, you know. But Kenny Hickey from Typo Negative won't do it. So that said, thanks a lot, everybody. Really enjoyable show. I'm down in Florida this week. If you're around, I'm going to the Butterbrain show in Lake Worth on Friday, and then I'm going to be back up here for Vinny Stigma's 70th birthday show at Irving Plaza. So that said, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon. Until next time, do good things, and good things will come.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your